So, horror movies. Horror movies have always had a massive amount of subgenres, going from monster movies to psychological horror, maniac killers, and of course at some point they had to start making horror movies about toys and video games. Sure, you can easily tuck away that chainsaw and 6-piece kitchen knife set, but there's other danger lurking around, just sitting there waiting for the right time to make its move. It's in your room, maybe even in your bed, just watching. Constantly watching as you sleep. These are the murderous toys that will haunt you in your dreams. There's just something about turning the things that seem least threatening into terrifying, bloodthirsty monsters and box office hits. So in today's spooktacular Ed's Retro Geek Out, we're going to be taking a look at a couple toys and games you might just want to lock up or avoid altogether during this Halloween season. Kicking off this video is dolls. There's actually tons of horror movies where the dolls are the main character, the main villain that's just out for blood. Of course, these dolls are demon dolls when they're inhabited by the spirit of a serial killer. The most popular one is probably 1988's Child's Play Chucky. That's kind of where it all started for Chucky, and who knew this doll could even breed and get himself a family of killer dolls ready to start ripping everyone's throat open. The good guy doll that we see promoted in the movie and in the toy stores in the movie is loosely based off of a doll that was available in toy stores at the time that the movie was out. It's of course based off of the My Buddy doll that Hasbro put out. And actually wanted to call Chucky the My Buddy doll in the movie, but yeah, see where that could have gone wrong. You know, the thing about these dolls is just that demons love to possess them, and that's definitely not a good thing for you. Just take a look at a couple movies like Annabelle, dolls, or demonic toys. The latter even features some puppets, which is even crazier. You know, puppets like clowns, other puppets, stuff you puppeteer. They always look creepy. It's just a lifeless human looking toy. Because dolls are just frozen in time. They're human but not human, and there's no life inside of these things. It also seems to work on a psychological level because we expect them to be our playmates and our best friends when we're young and vulnerable, and we are usually the ones controlling their actions. So when you come to the point that the doll is running around on its own and starting to kill, you might want to see a psychiatrist. And the same thing goes for ventriloquist dummy, because these are fine until they start speaking on their own accord. How you can even sleep at night knowing that you got one of these in the house simply amazes me. But then again, there's always something fancy about the age-old man puppet act. You know, voicing a puppet. And even though tribal dolls sure seem like a nice collectible, there's a reason why they're part of the black voodoo magic myths. You just gotta leave these straw and rag dolls alone. Voodoo magic is something that shouldn't be tempered with, and just stop sticking pins in them. You don't even know who's been cursed. And then we come to the wind-up toys. You've probably seen this clanging monkey toy in a million movies, but when this one starts clanging its cymbals at the haunted hours, you better run. There's some that can still hear the cymbals ring in the dead of night. This wound up toy is simple. You just key them, they perform their gimmick, and wait as the mechanism ends. But you know, on a dark and lonely night when that monkey just starts clanging by himself, you'd wish you'd never given him life in the first place. You know, you can probably still buy these. The cymbal banging monkey toy, or better known as the Jolly Chimp. The eyes obviously give it away. The monkey is pure evil. It was actually the Japanese company Deskin CK that manufactured the classic wind-up toy from the 50s up to the 70s. He was often knocked off and got different names through the years like Charlie Chimp, and he even got upgraded to being an unstoppable battery-operated toy. Just clanging away, and the echo of the cymbal still haunts us today. Another wound-up toy is just a musical box. Now, these mechanical music instruments date back to the 9th century, and 10 centuries later the first factory opened, creating these music boxes. Just a couple pins placed on a cylinder or disc to plug the tuned teeth of a steel comb. And yeah, when you thought the whole steel teeth part wasn't scary enough, just wait till that music box starts playing that creepy music at the stroke of midnight. It's probably one of the most haunting experiences you'll ever witness, if you live to tell. So yeah, better tuck those musical snuff boxes away till Christmas. And as we're on the subject of boxes, we might as well just talk about the puzzle box. This ain't no Rubik's Cube. Puzzle boxes usually were meant to keep precious items like jewelry. Introduced in 19th century Victorian England as an entertainment object, These are often delightful looking collectibles. But then again, the puzzle box known as the Lament configuration is the one you gotta stay away from. You know, just don't touch it, don't look at it, don't even think about looking at it, just stay away from the thing. I mean, if the guy from Hellraiser 1 didn't start this puzzle box thing, then maybe you wouldn't feel those hook chains stare into your flesh as you solve it. Okay, so maybe I'm over-exaggerating, but do you really want to be the one that opens the dimension to the Cenobites universe? The dimension where pain and pleasure can be differentiated? And I know you're not gonna like me saying it, but maybe stay away from the video games as well. And not because some people believe they cause teens to be more violent, some video games you just better stay away from, like Brain Scan. In this movie, the game encourages you to act as a psychopathic murderer that takes feet as trophies. Don't say I didn't warn you. Don't come back crying when these murders end up happening in real life. I told you so. And then when you really want to live on the edge, you can always go for the Ouija board experience. For many, it's probably the perfect way to spend your Halloween, get a couple friends, start a seance, and talk to the dead. You know, in 1100 AD in China, they came up with the automatic writing method, wherein you would just let your hand free flow and have the dead take it over to write out what they wanted you to know. The Ouija board provides a way for automatic writing that multiple people can participate in as they talk to the dead. And nowadays we just use a Ouija board, which is, by the way, a registered name trademarked by Hasbro. Yeah, you can't have a modern day seance without one of these. And sure, a night at the Ouija board starts off innocent, masking the spirit all sorts of normal geeky questions. But once the ghosts have been awoken and start to haunt you from the afterlife, you might want to reconsider going for the Halloween edition of Monopoly to accommodate your board game night. And then there was also the movie Small Soldiers, where they made like action figures, put like a military grade microchip in there, and they started coming to life and murdering people, you know? So yeah, might want to stay away from those two, from like all those toys. So yeah, you might want to stay away from action figures during Halloween as well. Oh, hell no.
So you guys are still here, huh? Yeah, he walked away, but as always, just subscribe to the channel, maybe hit the notification bell, leave in the comments down below which toy you would want to see pop up in a horror movie, and why it would be so horrific. If you want to do more, you can always check out the Patreon page, leave a like, maybe follow me on socials like Instagram and Facebook. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Sweet dreams, and be sure to feed your mogwai before midnight.